I keep my hair up good. I got my computer down here just so I can keep track of what I'm saying because I got a lot of info. If this is your first time on my channel, I've done an apartment hunting before, but this time I'm doing it different. I'd say this is kind of season 2 of moving because back in December, January, I already filmed moving in this apartment. But now I'm doing it again. If you have seen my videos before, you would know that I'm trying to move out. I am kind of in a way breaking my lease. I'm trying to. I do not have a specific date of moving out. My lease ends in December, so from here to December, I can kind of move out when I'm looking for apartments right now. This video is going up on August 2nd, which August is my birthday month. And it's also the first year anniversary of my channel. If you want to follow me and track me on my journey to find another apartment, consider subscribing down below. I would really love it. It's a great birthday present and a happy 1 year. It's really exciting. I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. I took a different approach when it comes to apartment hunting this time. Last time I would just message apartments that looked interesting in the pictures, visit them, and then make a decision. I went with a more picky approach this time. I've messaged about the same amount of apartments I did last time, which is about 30. Instead of asking to visit at first, I'm asking for a video. So the pictures sometimes, which I'm gonna put an example of an apartment I visited, but the pictures sometimes do not look like the apartment, so the best way is to ask for a video, so that way you know the layout and you get an idea of how the space is looking, how big the things are. You can usually tell on a video if it's a wide angle, which makes the rooms look bigger, but usually people are just going in, filming like portrait mode, just going through the apartment, kind of explaining you what's where and then sending it. It's usually about a minute or two. I get a lot of information through the video, and sometimes even more than the posts themselves. So I'm visiting only apartments that are really close to what I'm actually looking for. The conditions I'm looking for an apartment this time, I'm looking for either a 2.5, 3.5, or 4.5 for a budget that's around $1,000. I am looking for a place that is already renovated or are not planning on doing renovations. I would enjoy a dishwasher. I'm making sure that there's a fridge and oven included in the apartment, which is kind of a basic in Montreal. A lot of places will mention what's included in like the rent price and when you get in the apartment, but sometimes it's just not written. I've seen a lot of places in Verdun that are listed and they don't specify anything, but if you message the person, they're like, no, that's the price, nothing's included. It's a bit annoying. You gotta do a lot of research. And if there is a laundry in unit, that's a big plus. But overall, I'm just looking for laundry in the building or like in the apartment. I don't really want to go into a like little buanderie store in the street to do my laundry. I would suggest to make like an ideal list. If you find an apartment that you really love or you would apply for it, that maybe has like 1, 2, or 3 things that are in your list that you would love but isn't. It's not dramatic, but really I suggest you to be picky and really like focus on looking at apartments that meet most of your needs, most of your requirements. It's on the long run the best, and it also works for roommates and colocation and like things like that. If you're looking to go in a roommate situation, you can make expectations for what kind of people you want to be around, or your expectations and like everyone's contribution in the apartment. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can really like be picky a little bit. Obviously, if you have a short notice and you put a little bit of your requirements aside, there's so many apartments that are looking right now. The apartments go by fast. A lot of times it's you visit the same day and you apply the same day. If you really see an apartment that you really enjoy and you really love it, like, I'd say go for it, apply, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Try to move on to another one, but yeah. Avec une pôle, puis une petite tablette. Ici un autre garde-robe avec lui aussi une pôle, puis une tablette. Ça c'est ici, c'est la salle de bain. Ici, une lumière en haut, une fenêtre dans la cuisine. Comme ça. Ici l'espace, une colle. Et la cuisine. Comme ça. Le frigidaire est là. Une place pour le lave-vaisselle. Pour le four ici, puis la laveuse va dans celui-là ici. Comme ça. Puis il y a un balcon à l'extérieur. The first one was in Jolicoeur, which is near Verdun, and I like the area of Verdun. I'd say Jolicoeur, for seeing the neighborhood before I went to the apartment, it's a term I use a lot in my life. You might not understand it, but it's very Granby. Like, Granby is where I'm from. It's a city like an hour and a half from Montreal. It's a lot of old people and young families, basically. So Jolicoeur is a little bit like that. There was a lot of old people in the street. There was parks with like little kids. If this is a quiet neighborhood, if this is what you're looking for, Jolicoeur is great, but it's not what I'm looking for. The rent per month was $1,050, and I went in not asking questions really. It's the first apartment that I've sent a message to, I think, this time around, and I was a little bit out of it, so I forgot to ask about what's included in rent before going. If I would have asked the question, I wouldn't even think about going there. But $1,050. The pictures of the apartment that were up were like this, and I'll just go through them, and I'll put up on the screen what I actually filmed, what I went to look at. Completely different. No utilities, no appliances, no services, nothing included. The floors were really, really cracking, and I'll put the audio in here. The walls were really uneven. It's a really old building, but there are old buildings that the walls are good. The floors are redone. It's not cracking. The lighting was really, really bad quality. Like, sunlight coming in, I really love sunlight coming in, and since I'm filming, I enjoy having just natural good lighting. The bathroom was just crusty. That's the only word that came to mind when I looked at it. The toilet was yellowish. The bottom of the bathtub was like starting to crack. The little window was really quirky, I found, but it's looking to like a little alcove that's just going up. I think every floor or whatever, just, it's weird. After oh my god. After visiting it, there we go. I asked about the application process just out of pure curiosity after seeing the apartment. It was an absolute no in my opinion for me, but I was just curious. So I asked the person, I'm gonna quote their words, super picky owners, which is a red flag in my book. The application process, the person was explaining to me that it was very hard and complicated. They were asking for a lot of things. They weren't looking for someone to move in right now, which means they're really looking for a long-term person to go in there. They're looking for someone who's super quiet and like really calm and won't do a lot of noise, which I'm not saying I'm doing a lot of noise, but I'm a almost 20-year-old student living in Montreal, and I'm gonna stay up at 3 a.m. to listen to music, movies, or play games. So with old people and families around, it's not ideal. That's it for the first apartment I looked at. Space.
Of course, yeah.
I guess that's 2 doors.
The doors are a little broken. I'm gonna see if I can fix them soon. But
Oh,
they were
okay.
like that when I moved in here, so they haven't really been a problem. It's nice having a bathroom with a window too.
Yeah.
There's always a nice breeze, so the humidity and everything is never really a problem.
The second one though, if it wasn't for the fact that the building was really old and the elevator looked like it was straight out of a movie from the 70s or the 30s or something, it was in McGill, close, really close to McGill. The asking price was $1,030, which is, again, a little bit over my asking price, but it had a super open concept. I really liked how the apartment was, the floor plan was laid out. The video looks really nice. The price was a little bit higher, not because of the apartment, the value of the apartment, but because of the neighborhood, which is something that's gonna happen if you're looking for downtown McGill, Concordia, near universities. The prices are gonna go up a bit just because you're close to the city. As far as the view out of the windows go, it's not very different from what I have right now, so I really didn't mind. The lighting in the bedroom was really, really beautiful. The apartment was a little bit small for a couple, I'd say. I'm looking for a little bit of a bigger space. The toilet and the overall bathroom was better than the first one I looked at, but the bathtub, it was almost terrifying to see. I asked the person about how come is the bathtub this crackly and weird, and if it was sealed and everything. The person told me that the actual seal of the drain was done recently, and that when that person moved in 3 years before, they had just like painted over the bathtub just to hide what was on there, and for this person just living there for so long, the paint chipped off. The door, in the entryway, there is a wardrobe. There's a broken mirror door, and I asked the person about it, and they said that when they moved in like 3 years ago, it was already broken like that, and the mirror in itself was broken and stuff, which I found weird. And yeah, I didn't film the actual elevator and the actual inside of the building, but it was like really, really old. And yeah, I'll try to find like a reference, but the button in the elevator were like push buttons, not like the ones that you see it's all gray and it looks like technology. No, it looked like you press and then it just goes down like a lift. Consider subscribing down below. Again, it's gonna be my birthday at the end of the month, and I'm going on my first year on this channel on YouTube, so yeah. I'll see you next week.